There needs to be what they call a serious culture change in the way these types of situations are handled.
This is your last chance, otherwise pepper spray's going in your eyeballs. Come on, let's go.
Part of the exchange between a 9-year-old girl and Rochester police officers. Caught on body-worn camera, released to the public in a matter of days. The girl pepper sprayed by an officer after failing to comply with police.
This is not something that any of us should want to justify.
The call came Friday afternoon from Avenue B for the initial report of family trouble and a possible stolen vehicle.
Breaking news tonight, our first look at the body cam footage from Rochester police.
What is going on? How can I help?
What started as a family trouble call ended with a 9-year-old girl in the back of a police cruiser, handcuffed, then pepper sprayed.
Just sprayer at this point. I got her. I got her. Unbelievable.
The incident causing concern among residents and city leaders.
I don't know what it's like to be a cop, but I know what it's like to be a mother.
This incident shows why we need to fundamentally reimagine public safety in this community.
The incident again raising questions about the use of excessive force by Rochester police. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. Many are also wondering why the city's new crisis team wasn't called on Friday. We do have team coverage for you tonight. Andrew Bain is standing by, but we begin with Natalie Kutchko. Natalie?
Well, Dan, Mayor Lovely Warren spoke out today saying in light of transparency, RPD was to release the body camera footage within 48 hours. Now, both the mayor and police agree, saying there needs to be what they call a serious culture change in the way these types of situations are handled.
This is your last chance, otherwise pepper spray's going in your eyeballs. Come on, let's go.
Part of the exchange between a 9-year-old girl and Rochester police officers. Caught on body-worn camera, released to the public in a matter of days. The girl pepper sprayed by an officer after failing to comply with police.
This is not something that any of us should want to justify.
The call came Friday afternoon from Avenue B for the initial report of family trouble and a possible stolen vehicle. Ultimately, city officials say the child was suicidal, threatening to cause harm to herself and others. The redacted footage, Mayor Warren says, was held due to the victim's age and the protection of her identity at the request of her parent.
Sit up! No! You're acting like a child. Stop!
In an effort to be more transparent, Warren says the police department was timely in notifying her about the incident. However, the first release to the public came shortly after 8 o'clock the next morning. Mayor, it took nearly 24 hours for any information on this incident to be released to the public. So, first, what calls for the silence both from yourself and from the police department?
Actually, it did not take 24 hours. I think that that's inaccurate information. On the night of the event, so the event, I believe, happened on Friday around 3:30. It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I then watched the video. I immediately contacted City Council.
Both interim chief and executive deputy chief of the Rochester Police Department say change needs to come from within.
We are looking at a culture change. We need to make changes here. Many of the leaders that I talked to as part of our command staff looked at this and they were very concerned with what transpired with this child.
Part of that will come from an executive order Mayor Warren says the city is already working on and will continue to work on in the week ahead.
We had a 5-hour retreat on Friday. We plan to hit the ground again on Monday to go through these documents so that we can get that to the public.
Now, the mayor says additional body camera footage from other officers involved is expected to get released in the coming days, though she says the actions that occurred in the incident were both clear and evident from the video released today. Reporting live in Rochester, Natalie Kutchko, 13 WHAM News.
All right, thank you, Natalie. And just minutes ago, the head of the Rochester Police Union defended the officers responding to that call. Union President Mike Mazzeo saying those criticizing the handling of that incident have never been in that position. He also added that it's easier for the city to blame the officers than come up with solutions.
When it's determined that she needs help and there's a mental hygiene, they have to be restrained. If that's not going to be the policy and the way that things are worked, then we need to change them.
Mazzeo also said that every situation is different, and he feels the police responding that day did everything by the book. The city's new person in crisis team, or PIC team, was not dispatched to that call on Friday. The mayor says the call did not meet the initial requirements, and according to PIC's commissioner, the pilot program is not yet equipped to go to calls if police are already on scene.
RPD can speak to policies and procedures that they have regarding how they deal with changes on the scene and resources that are available. But the PIC team specifically, that co-response protocol procedure is under development.
City leaders and the Police Accountability Board are also weighing in after seeing that body camera video. 13 WHAM's Andrew Banis spoke with them about the actions and their demands they're making. Andrew?
Yeah, Dan, I'm hearing a lot of frustration about how this even happened, a lot of disappointment, and them wondering what exactly can be done to make sure it doesn't happen again.
It has been more than 48 hours now since a 9-year-old girl was handcuffed and pepper sprayed by police. Rochester City Council member Mary Lupien calls the body cam video from the incident heartbreaking.
It's a blow to this community and certainly to the family. It shows us how much work is still left to be done.
Lupien says she wants transparency from the Rochester Police Department about why this happened.
I do think that this command staff is more willing to take an honest look at the policing strategies used and take appropriate action. I'd like to see the officers taken off the street and disciplined.
Fellow council member Willie Lightfoot agrees.
That's where the mental health professionals should come in. I mean, clearly, this was a family issue and problem that needed to be handled by professionals.
He says he appreciates how quickly the information in the video was released to the public.
We're learning from our past mistakes. And I think that needs to be brought to this space. And people need to at first acknowledge that.
Connor Dwyer Reynolds, the executive director of the Police Accountability Board, says his organization has already...
All right, guys, we're not just watch the full video. See? But one of the biggest questions I go ask myself still, how the parents call the police, see? Because the girl, our little daughter, or them little daughter misbehave and him have a suicide, she have a suicidal thought. See? And then the police come and do all of that to feed them daughter. Me no get that part there. Mike Mazzeo, me no understand your little twining and your little whining what you upon. You try to put things where you can save your own skin. To me, that you do right there, so. Is what me I say? So, me look upon it as some grown-ass people who claim, quote unquote, them are police officers and them can't deal with a simple 9-year-old. Simple 9-year-old, they handcuff the little pitney. See? And at the same time, them can't get the little child under control. They have to turn around and pepper spray. After handcuff, you know. After handcuff. You are going to tell me, say you have to pepper spray the little pitney because you can't get him. So what you in a police force for though? That's why me tell you, you know. Enough of them shooting they want to see go on in and around the place. Remember, bear this in mind. Police, if you look on them too hard, them get coward and them get scared. Because them feel say they can't go manage what they go come. All when you know me no harm, you know. You just have to look on them, you know. No for shooting them. Listen to what them say. Oh, we feel like we were threatened. My life, it seems like my life was in danger. All when your two hand in your blood club or pocket All when they handcuff you, them still feel say them life in a danger. Because guess what? Them can't hold them own meds. On a pretty levels of what they go on in a society. Because you can't tell me say a 9-year-old. Me have a pepper spray. Me if me a police officer. And you go tell me say, we have a pepper spray the liquor. Me I go tell a plain and straight. No. And if me are your supervisor, and you come to me and say, boss, you know, say a thing go on, and I say, what? What go on? And you come to me and say, boy, you know, say, one little pitney when I misbehave out there, so we handcuff her still, but you know, say, when still I misbehave and we have a pepper spray. Yo, you take yourself in front of me for you mention that, you know. Nobody come to me with that story there. And that me I make you know. Nobody come to me with that story there. For you come to me with that story there, me I go run away in front of me. Me not save you. Me not save you. So you have to go save your own self because me not save you. Anything if it happen to you, it go happen to you. Because guess what? Yeah, carelessness and foolishness you deal with. And at that me see with them police officer right there. So me not talk about boy you know black or no white. No. It's not about a color thing I say, it's all about a human who they act like I say, them a damn idiot. You understand? Stupid. And the parents forget blame too because they are the one who call the cops. Cops not trained for them a little sitting here. You understand? Cops not if them call the cops and them have to come and use the restrain and go on with all them little antics. You can imagine if I want 18-year-old. You know much bullet that one that pick up, that little girl that pick up. If you were 18, you shoot her flying man. Or when they handcuff her, then I still shoot her so they feel threatened. Tell me, I tell you, you know, because if you can't manage if you cannot manage a 9-year-old, at 18 you go manage. You see, you know see the logics behind it? Me I tell you no star. Me I say, me don't know you know, but boy. A Black History Month. And we give thanks to life that we there same way. So me I say, yeah man, we there same way. So check out the channel. Feel free to subscribe. Hit the notification bell for more notification. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. It's your boy Dio King. Always at it. At topics. You understand? Always at it. Check out the next video. Next time. Walk good.